Hello everyone, today we're going to make these cute little beanies, and here is how we start with our magic loop. And this is going to be 2 strands today, so it's a little different, and when you're working with 2 strands it's just a little trickier. So when we're making a beanie, we start with a magic loop and then we do 12 or 11 double crochets in the loop when our first 3 chains count as our number 12. So I'm going to get my first 12 stitches done in this magic loop. And just when you're working with these 2 strands of yarn, it does make it a little more tricky. So just make sure you grab that second strand each time and get it pulled through. Now, of course, you don't want to pull your magic loop tight too soon, so just keep it going until you get your 12. And always making sure you pull those little tails out where they won't get caught up in your stitches, because that is how you're going to tighten your loop when you're done with it here. I'm going to go back and always double check and count your stitches to make sure you have the right number for the project that you're doing, because it's real easy to lose track when you're getting your foundation rows done. Okay, now we're going to tighten that down, and when you tighten it, you have that little V shape there as like a little Pac-Man, and you just slip stitch it into that first row. Then you're going to chain 3, and you're going to do double crochet right where that stitch was, and in every stitch around your circle you're going to do 2 double crochets. This is a very simple project, and you're just doing a double crochet. And the last row I did do a single crochet on this one just to give it a little bit of difference, but that's unnecessary. You can do it if you want your hat to fit just a little tighter on the brim. So here we are with 2 strands still, and make sure those don't get twisted up. I've got a semi-fuzzy yarn here, and then a very tiny brown to go with it, so it's a royal blue and a brown, and that's the colors I'm using today. And you just do 2 double stitches in each stitch. Now I'm doing this pretty quickly. I will have a video coming soon on each one of the stitches, but in most of the projects I've done this very slowly and described it. So when you do a double stitch, you loop under the yarn, go through the hole, grab your yarn again, pull through 2, grab your yarn again, and pull through 2. It's one of the stitches I use a lot in most of my projects. Any granny square project, or a lot of the different projects I've made, I use a double stitch. So now I'm going to go back and double check and count and make sure your second row has 24 stitches in it, and that is including your 3 chains for your first stitch. So your first one has 12 and your second row has 24, and then you slip stitch it together. Just slip it right in there. And then you chain 3 again for your third row. And you're going to repeat 2 stitches per stitch on this one as well. So you want 48. This is an adult beanie. So you want 2 stitches per stitch on this, and you want your third row to be 48 stitches. Okay, now we've got our third row, and we have got, actually I've gone a little farther here. Once you've got your 48 stitches in your third row, you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to put 1 stitch in each stitch. So you're going to do 1 double stitch in each stitch as you go around, so your hat will start taking its shape. And then you just continue doing that for the length that you want your hat to be. You can make it long enough to have a fold up on the end where it doubles over the ear, or you can make it just long enough to come down and cover the ear, or you can even make it above the ear if you like. So it can be different lengths, and really at this point all it is 1 double crochet per stitch for the remainder of the hat. So I love how easy these are to make. This is a 30-minute to, it could be to 45 minutes if you're still beginner and still learning these stitches. So this is a pretty good project to be learning on, and they're really good for donations for the winter. You can donate them to different places for homeless people or people that have had fires or anything like that. You can also find places that will take them on missionary trips and take them across the world to other places that need hats. So this is a very fun project to do, which is why I have several of them on my channel. Now I'm just going to continue doing a double stitch all the way around. This is getting a little bigger and bigger, and I've actually made 2 of these hats today during the time that I was doing this video. And I did run out of the brown, so the second hat only has the blue on the bottom. So make sure you have enough yarn if you're trying to make it the same on both hats, or if you're trying to make it the same all the way down. But you'll see the difference in the end here when I ran out of brown. Now this is kind of where it's going a little slow because it was getting a little bit tangled up. And of course I had to move to the couch for a little while. And this is the end of the second hat where I'm just working with the blue. So you can do this with 1 strand, or you can do this with multiple strands. See how this fuzzy yarn is a little bit trickier to work with as well. And this is the very last row where I'm doing just a single crochet to finish off that last round. And that part is optional. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you've had fun crocheting. I hope you make many beautiful hats this winter and see how that one is different. I love how these turned out, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.